A rural Chadron rancher is arrested for shooting a puppy and allowing more than 50 of his cattle to starve to death. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News, powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, a 29-year-old Chadron rancher has been charged with the death of 57 animals following an investigation by the Dawes County Sheriff's Office. Dylan McGannon was taken into custody on May 28th after fatally shooting a woman's red heeler puppy and sending a photo of it to her. 2 days later, a neighbor went to McGannon's property to make sure his cattle had food and water following news of his arrest. Upon arrival, the neighbor discovered dozens of dead cattle in a pen. Once deputies and a veterinarian arrived on scene, they determined 56 head of cattle were dead, some probably for 3 months. Dylan McGannon will be back in court tomorrow as he faces 56 charges of cruelly neglect resulting in death of an animal, 1 count of intentionally and knowingly torture an animal resulting in death, disturbing the peace, and intimidation by electronic communication device. And a 38-year-old Bayard man is facing a trio of charges that stemmed from a Thursday traffic stop in Scottsbluff. Scottsbluff police pulled over Gregory Antoine for a safety glass violation, but when made contact, they learned he had an active warrant for his arrest. When the vehicle was searched, they found more than 4 grams of suspected methamphetamine and a long blade knife. He's facing charges of possession of a deadly weapon by a prohibited person, possession of a controlled substance, and driving under suspension. Bond's been set at $30,000 at 10%, and he's set to be back in court next Thursday to have the case bound over to Scottsbluff County District Court. We'll have more news right after this.
Whether you're gardening, searching for the perfect vacation home, or planning your next travel destination, your life is just as unique. Your Raymond James financial advisors, Jody Rosiska and Kevin Figg, get to know you, your passions, and your vision for the future, so you can live your life. That's life well planned.
Welcome back. Panhandle Public Health District has had no further measles cases confirmed from the Sheridan County case announced in late May. Health Director Jessica Davies said they are grateful that no further cases have been reported and the initial case recovered quickly with mild symptoms. However, she says with cases increasing in South Dakota, they want to remind people the importance of getting their MMR vaccinations as the best defense against this highly infectious virus. State epidemiologist Dr. Sidney Stein said measles is still circulating both in the U.S. and abroad, and they continue to encourage Nebraskans to make sure they and their families are protected. And the City of Gering announces the upcoming August 2025 cycle of Gering Hotel Occupancy Tax Grant Funding Program. This funding cycle is designed for major grant requests, applicants seeking more than $10,000 in funding. Recent grant recipients included 308 United Softball for the installation of 8 new shade structures at Dome Rock Diamonds, and the Lions Club basketball tournament for funding officials. Organizations interested in applying for funding are encouraged to submit their application by noon, July 1st, through the Visit Gering website.
I imagined retirement in a place where we could enjoy our golden years, where adventure and friendship are the only items on the schedule. The Garden Homes at Northfield gives us the luxury we planned for and peace of mind when it comes to convenience, safety, and comfort. We never have to stop and think about the day-to-day upkeep. We love to explore abroad, but most importantly in our backyard. So much to do, so much to see. Here at Northfield, we get the protection of life care, incredible tax benefits, and secured rates for aging services. It's peaceful, knowing that if our needs change, we'll be taken care of. And most importantly, that our kids will never have to make any tough decisions. There never seemed to be enough time to do all the things we wanted. Now we get to focus our energy on enjoying what this community has to offer. At the Garden Homes, life is ours again. A place we had dreamed about. A chance to focus on us.
Life is crazy. Pain is stressful. How can anybody concentrate with these busy schedules? Now you can. This is Ben Moravec coming to you from Hydrozen, a float therapy business right here in Scotts Bluff. I'm here today to let you know we now have memberships for $49 monthly. You can guarantee yourself at least one float per month. You know how floating keeps your muscles relaxed, your joints relieved, and your brain clear to think? Now you can float at a reduced rate each month. Inquire today at hydrozenfloat.com or call us at 308-63-FLOAT. Hydrozen. Unplug and recharge.
From the Nebraska Soybean Board Studios, I'm Alex Makovica with a check of today's midday market activity. As we head into the noon hour, grains trending lower, livestock, cattle just a tick higher. And joining us to break down factors, Jim McCormick with agmarket.net. Jim, the leader to the downside again today is the wheat pits. Tell us a little bit more about what you're seeing in these grains, what's moving the markets.
Like you said, the wheat market is leading us down. You saw wheat pick up a little bit of premium, I think, in the last couple of weeks as they were uncertainty of what was going on in the Middle East. Middle East is a big buyer of wheat, obviously, importer of it. With the tensions essentially declining in there, the wheat market's coming down. On top of it, we have wheat harvest going along pretty quick. So that's pressuring the market. The bean market's being pressured on better weather at this point in time. And the corn market isn't really breaking today, but it is trading back down near its essentially winter, summer lows from a year ago. So finding a little technical support there, but overall the weather is being viewed a little bit bearish, limiting the buying.
Well, for the first time in a long time, we saw lower cash trade last week. Nothing has really kicked off here as we talk on Tuesday, but live and feeder cattle futures trending a little bit higher, which was a turnaround for the most part from what we saw yesterday. Drivers in that complex, what do you see so far today?
I think there's two things going on. First one is technically we went down on that August cattle, essentially went down, hit the 50-day moving average, held it. So we saw some technical buying show up after the correction. Then on top of it, like I mentioned, the Middle East tensions have simmered, have cooled down, I should say. The stock market is liking that. So the stock market is rallying. The dollar is weakening a little bit. So that is adding a little bit more confidence into the buying. We'll see, Alex, as we get into July, past July 4th weekend, coming up quick, the demand tends to slide a little bit, but maybe a little bit of optimism for some short-term buying due to the holiday weekend coming up.
Real quick, Jim, they had talked about a strike, a boycott against McDonald's. They are obviously the largest purchaser of beef here in the U.S. Do you see that really having an impact on the markets here, or is that something that's maybe just a little bit of chatter?
I think it's probably more of a chatter than anything else, but I think you got to keep an eye on what's going on with McDonald's and the beef. They're not promoting beef, Alex. What are they promoting? They're promoting chicken right now. Chicken strips, chicken sandwiches. So that tells you right now McDonald's is trying to drive their consumer to the cheaper protein, which is chicken. Interesting enough.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. All right, we'll dive into this and a whole lot more this afternoon on the Channel Final Bell. Jim McCormick of agmarket.net will be joining us for that conversation, so I invite you to tune in on our rural radio network stations. From the Nebraska Soybean Board Studios, I'm Alex Makovica.
Your home deserves a better hello. Swing into summer with a brand new entry or patio door. Get 20% off every door plus no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. Enjoy an extra 5% off your entire project if purchased on initial consultation. That's up to 25% in savings on an upgrade your home will thank you for. But hurry, these hot summer deals won't last long. Call today or visit rbawyoming.com to book your free estimate.
take a look at your community calendar, brought to you by Riverstone Bank. The community calendar is brought to you by Riverstone Bank. We're local and we love our community.
Welcome to Kelly's Liquor, your liquor cabinet. Whether you're a wine enthusiast, a whiskey sommelier, a tequila connoisseur, or you just love your beer, Kelly's has the best selection of what you're looking for. Family owned and operated since 1946 and right on 27th Street in Scottsbluff. Come see us today at Kelly's Liquor, your liquor cabinet. And remember to be a good neighbor. Don't drink and drive. Kelly's Liquor, West 27th Street in Scottsbluff.
Better sleep and better health can be found at Western Sleep Medicine in Gering. Since 2006, Western Sleep Medicine has offered the lowest cost sleep testing either in their independent sleep laboratory or the privacy of your own home. You have control over your health care and your out-of-pocket cost. All insurance is accepted for a much lower cost than the regional option. If you need a sleep study, ask for Western Sleep Medicine. They've helped thousands of people over the years and want to help you. Western Sleep Medicine. Better sleep, better health.
At Platte Valley Bank, we want to help you take advantage of every adventure. We know you have plans, goals, and dreams. Let us help you with them. Whether it is building, buying, or renovating, we have the home loan or home equity line of credit to fit your needs. Stop in and see us at Platte Valley Bank and let us help make your dreams a reality. You belong here. Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
And finally tonight, the public's invited out to celebrate the 4th of July a little early this year at the Minnetonka Fire Department. This Saturday, starting at 5:30 at the Fire Hall, there will be games, food and drink, and a fireworks show beginning at sundown. Attendees are also encouraged to come test their luck to see if they can dunk a firefighter in the dunk tank before the fireworks show begins. All proceeds from the dunk tank and food truck will go to benefit the department. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you here next time.